All right, we're going to do the last Balls Deep Lotto ticket of the year. This is your host, Ryan, with Ranger Stern, my new dog, since my old one, Bravey, died. Rangers bites his foot a lot. Anyhow, so right now, Ole Miss is getting smoked by TCU. And after LSU lost to Notre Dame yesterday in what was a great game, by the way, though Georgia did beat the shit out of Louisville. So Ole Miss looks like they're going to lose this game. LSU lost. So get ready for people to draw these big, sweeping, broad-based generalizations about the SEC. I have no dog in this fight. I'm from Dallas. We don't have SEC there. But the SEC is far and away the best conference. Alabama's been making me money for 5 years. A lot of dough. Like, a lot of dough. And I'll tell you what, I think they're going to win it again. I actually took them at minus 110. I was in Vegas a month ago for a company bash. And I took Alabama to win the whole thing at minus 110. But you can still get it at plus money. You can still get it at plus 115 right now. I think Alabama's going to roll OSU. I actually think that Alabama's would handle Oregon or FSU. I think they'd beat them by more than one score. I think FSU's got a great chance to beat Oregon. I know Oregon has a better offense, and I know FSU has been very fortunate all year long to keep getting by with these very close victories. But, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I guess you could have 2 points of view. One is their luck is due to run out, or two, that's just what they do with Winston, because they did it last year too. I mean, in the national championship game, I actually had Auburn straight up, and that was like plus 300 or something. I left 9 points on the table. Auburn lost at the end, and that's what Winston does. I wouldn't be surprised if he did it this year. I'd only be surprised, and I think everyone agrees with this, if Ohio State won. Not because they aren't good, but because they have a third-string, fourth-string quarterback. That's all. If they had their starting quarterback, hell, maybe they'd be in the championship. I don't know. I think Alabama's the best team no matter who they play. I think Alabama will beat FSU. Let's take a look at Rangers. Real good-looking dog. I think Alabama's going to handle FSU or Oregon. I certainly think they'll handle Ohio State. I am concerned that people are going to think that the SEC isn't the best conference. It clearly is. It is the best conference. I don't think it's fair to take a small sample size of bowls and ignore 3 months. I'm not saying Ole Miss is a top 5 team. They're not. TCU may have gotten robbed, and TCU all year was great. I think TCU lost one game to Baylor where they were leading by 2 touchdowns, and they lost on the road at Baylor by a field goal. To me, that's barely even a loss. TCU wins that game. They're ranked higher than Oregon because Baylor's a top 10 team, according to the rankings. So TCU looks like they got robbed. Who did Ohio State lose to? I can't even remember now. Wisconsin, maybe? No, they killed them in the bowl. I can't remember who Ohio State lost to. I don't know. I was fine with the BCS. I think we need an 8-team playoff, clearly. 5 conference. I was just talking about this with my buddy. 5 conferences, 3 at large, right? Give the top 2 seeds buys or whatever. Have the other 6 duke it out. It works in the NFL. I'm not a huge fan of playoffs because I think the regular season is true, but whatever. Most people like playoffs. I get it. I understand. My dog's super flexible. He does this type of shit all the time. Anyhow, so my picks to win it all are Alabama over FSU. That's right. I think FSU is going to win outright. I really do. Why would you doubt FSU? At what point has FSU ever given anyone reason to doubt them? Like, they just keep winning. So beat Oregon. It's one game. Anybody can beat anybody. We've seen it in the Super Bowl. Baltimore beat the Niners. The Niners were the best team in football that year. Rest in peace, Niners. Jim Harbaugh knew what he was doing. Jim Harbaugh left after 5 years, which is what he always does. He did it at San Diego State. He did it at Stanford, and he did it at the Niners. He realized that he left at his peak value. The Niners, actually, after last year, would have been the peak value for the Niners when they lost to Seattle in the championship game because he knows that team's old. Patrick Willis is old. Vernon Davis is old. Bolden is old. Cap's not getting better. The O-line's hurt all the time. Justice Smith's old. Frank Gore's old. Like, they don't have any downfield threat because Bolden's slow, Crabtree's slow, and always hurt. Rangers. Jesus, I just worked out, so he smells my sweat. Anyhow, I think that Harbaugh did the right thing. He's living the dream, man. Why should he stay here forever? It's a shame about the Niners. That organization is going to turn to shit. Harbaugh won as many games in 4 years as the Niners had won like the previous rest of the decade. I think Harbaugh won 12 games a year or something, 11 games a year. I don't know, plus playoffs. Anyhow, back to college football. We are on Bama over FSU. I don't know what the line will be. I'm guessing. I mean, it really depends on what happens tomorrow, but I'm sure Alabama's going to be favored by at least, 6 points against FSU, unless somebody gets hurt. I am worried about Blake Sims, the quarterback for Bama, does make some bad decisions, but just get the ball to Cooper and Yeldon and that big, giant 6'4", like, running back who's just yoked with, like, the dreads that are dyed I forgot his fucking name right now. But anyhow, that team, man, they're just great. Watching Alabama defense is watching just perfect football. The speed that their linebackers close, how good their secondary is year after year. Maybe not as good lately, but with like Drake Kirkpatrick and those guys, Mosley, dude. Watching Alabama, they are substantially better than the NFL Falcons on defense. Alabama is better than the Falcons. They're loaded. Their linebackers pursue. They're fast. They can get any run. They can handle the option. They can handle anything. They're just great. Watch Alabama tomorrow. You are in for a treat. And I think FSU upsets. Happy New Year. We'll be back